Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I think that each person, each adult, should be in charge of his life and death. I think that each person should be, if we are, as they say we are, free, that I'm free to do whatever I want with my life, as long as I don't, actively hurt someone else. Now, obviously, if I poke my eye, my mom will be crying, right? What are you doing? But still, I think my right to be free, my autonomy, my power of decision over my actions trumps Donald Trump's, my mom's pain. Now, if I would do something to someone else actively, I understand it's a different story. But if I defend myself, like Israel, then I should be allowed to do a lot of things. Unlike Israel, obviously, because, But nevertheless, what do we have here? We have here an article from Ukrainska Pravda, where we find out that a lot of Nepalese, people from Nepal, Nepal, Himalaya, Chomolungma, Everest, Okay, Chomolungma is Everest. That's where Nepal is, by Himalaya, by all those guys. Supposedly 15,000 Nepalese fight in the Russian army at this point. And these guys are boo-hoo-hoo, boo-hoo-boo-boo, and all that. And we have here, some people say, bring our people back. I think they made their own decisions. And sometimes we make mistakes, and we learn if there's not a dead-end mistake. So let me show you this little article coming from Ukrainska Pravda today, 11th of February 2024. Russia has recruited up to 15,000 Nepalese to fight against Ukraine, CNN. Now, what's this? Stop the recruitment of Nepali nationals in Russian army. Bring the boy of the deceased to Nepal. What's interesting here, if I look at this, all these three and that kind of use the same font. Interesting, isn't it? Okay, I don't know about the other ones, but nevertheless, stop the recruitment. I think in a free world, I can go and offer you a garbage McDonald's, let's say, or a Burger King, and if you are an idiot, you're gonna eat it. But if you're a smart guy, you're gonna say, well, that's garbage, I'm not gonna eat it. But hey, you have the freedom of choice, free to choose. Remember, what's his name? Let me make sure that I don't show you my bowls when I do this. One of my favorite books over there, right? That's a good Milton Friedman. It's a good guy. You know what I mean? All right. So free to choose. Very good book. That's the. This is a book that I received from a friend of mine for my birthday. What year? Let's see. That's what we used to do when we were younger children in Romania. But this is not from Romania. Well, there's no date on this one. But I know it was, it's happy birthday, Dr. Kosman, with double S. Thank you very much. I'm not going to give you the names. All right. So nevertheless, here it is, free to choose. It's your freedom. Now, you're free to choose from a garbage car that is offered and overpriced to a better car that you don't understand anything about it. So it's based on the freedom and the beauty of knowledge. And by knowledge, you make less mistakes than you would otherwise make. We all make mistakes. And the point is, you make it because you try. And when you try, you make mistakes and you analyze why you made the mistakes. You learn and you get going. And next time, you're not going to make the same mistake. Possibly. You're going to make others. And again, you learn until you succeed. That's the beauty. Don't have others protecting you from making any mistakes because it's going to hurt you. All right, so let's see what this garbage is saying here. Russia has recruited about 15,000 Nepali citizens for the war against Ukraine. They didn't drag them out of their houses, did they? They offered them, like McDonald's. Hey, this is the Big Mac. Tastes good, but not really food, is it? Whatever it is. CNN, okay. CNN and Nepali opposition lawmaker and former foreign minister Bimala Rai Pawidyal have reported. Numerous sources told CNN that about 15,000 Nepali men, that's discrimination right there, we're equal, joined the Russian army after maybe they're smarter than us. After the Russian government announced a lucrative package for foreign soldiers last year. Now, if someone comes and tells you, hey, Gigi or Emil, here's a piece of shit for free, will you eat it? But if it's a piece of shit and say, hey, this is a great food, man, but you don't know it's a piece of shit because you're dumb, you're an ignorant, you're gonna eat it? Maybe. So, whose fault is it? We have people that we vote for. They're all great people, we're told, right? Until they get in the office and then they show us who they really are. All right, the package included a monthly salary of at least $2,000 and a fast-tracked procedure to obtain a Russian passport. I know a lot of people in this world, if offered the same thing for the US citizenship, they would get immediately to enroll. I know people who are here in the green card, they will get on a fast-tracked citizenship. I know that for a fact, right? Nevertheless, we're gonna get to this one. Don't worry if we don't have it already. Why? Because with the soybean motherfuckers nowadays, pussified society, what do you expect? To fight? They look at the bear and they think it's a pole to dance on. Nepal's passport is one of the worst in the world from the point of view of global mobility, according to an index created by consulting company Henley Partners. Below North Korea, and Nepal is one of the poorest countries in the world in terms of per capita GDP, according to World Bank data. So why don't you CNN give them some billions? I know you have a lot of millions. Give them some money. No? No. You have to have values. Oh, man. The Nepali government says that at least 200 Nepalese citizens are fighting on Russia's side and at least 13 Nepalese have been killed in the combat zone. But lawmakers and human rights activists, I love those human rights activists. Yeah, when they say that, it's like they're, I don't know, saints or something. No agenda. No, their agenda is human rights. Yeah, okay. In Nepal, say that these official estimates are significantly lower than the real numbers. So they know the truth, man. They know the truth. Bimala Rai Peudial, a prominent... No, let's start with this. I don't give a fuck if there's 2,000 billion, I mean, being imbecile, 2,000 billion Nepalese enrolling in whatever army they want. I don't care. It's like a contract. I'm a volunteer. I'm more like these volunteers going to the Legion of Freedom, whatever, Ukraine. What's wrong? Oh, that's the wrong side. Again, I'm a free person to choose, free to choose. I don't care if there are 15,000, one person on 50,000 billion. But nevertheless, these guys are making it sound like, oh my God, right here, this guy, Foreign Affairs Minister of Nepal, said on February 8th, in the upper house of the country's parliament, that 14 to 15,000 Nepali men are fighting in Ukraine. Oh, yeah, because you motherfuckers, you create such a bad life in Nepal. You are bad captains of a ship, and their people try to find better ships. What's wrong with that? Stay with you and pay your taxes and work like slaves, and you could probably have a certain kind of standard of living? No. If you go, that should be an incentive for you to help do something about that country. How about that? Don't cry. They're leaving the country. Why? The situation is bad. Why? Who's in charge? The previous administration. All right, but they don't look at it that way. Why do people leave? Let's say, oh, he cheated on her. Why did he do it? Oh, he just want to fuck around. Really? Maybe at home things are not that great. Hey, what's going on at home? Oh, okay. So you want him to stay? Yeah. I mean, I'm not justifying that, but I mean, the right thing would be, if you don't get along anymore, you just part ways and that's it. Or you want to have some fun, at least, maybe you do it after. But nevertheless, what I'm trying to say is not always just, because he's just a fucker or she's just a whore. No, sometimes, some things don't happen at home. And then some people say, you know what, I have to do this. Like these guys. Imagine a 20-year-old Nepalese in Nepal with no future and whatever life they have over there, and he's offered, let's say, this and that, $2,000 a month, and possibility to be a citizen of Russia, which will be greatly an improvement socioeconomic from that standpoint. So yeah, that's your problem in your country. I mean, they have no problem having the Romanians coming and taking the German people's jobs in the European Union, do they? No. Isn't that the same thing? Why do people immigrate from Romania to immigrate to Canada, to United States of America, to Western Europe? For the same reason, for opportunities. But these opportunities, the Western people don't like all of a sudden. Why? Runs against their own interest. All right, let's move on. All right, so 4 Nepalese soldiers are currently being held in Ukraine as prisoners of war, according to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And what am I supposed to do? Cry about it? That's their choice. If they cry, whatever. Russian Foreign Minister has not responded to CNN questions about the number of Nepalese recruited by the Russian army and how many of them have been killed. Is like the Russians would ask the Ukrainians, hey, tell us how many French people fight in your volunteer group or whatever. And CNN expects an answer from the Russians, but did they ask the Ukrainians? Nah, niet. Why? Because we have values. CNN analyzed the TikTok accounts of 10 Nepalese men who went to Russia to join the army and using satellite imagery identified their location as being the Avant-Garde Training Center, a military academy near Moscow. So see how much effort CNN put in the Russian and the Nepalese? Why don't you try the same thing with, let's say, American citizens going and fighting for Ukraine as volunteers in their military? No? Or maybe some French? No? You see, that's why you look at CNN. CNN is not a media, it's not a news agency. News. This is a propaganda agency of the guys in charge of us. They have an order to find out this and propagandize us without thinking, wait a second, why didn't you do it with the French people or Romanians fighting or that? Isn't that the same thing? No, because those are, we say they're bad, we say we're good. Look how much they put over there. The facility was set up as a youth military, one soldier. They have here the whole thing, what happened, how many people, and what they did, and CNN did this. Okay, well, good. And are you a free human fucking being or you're not? Remember in the communist times, a lot of Romanians were not allowed to travel, none of us actually, but rarely in the Eastern Bloc. And a lot of people were, I know people, in real life, they were risking their lives crossing the Danube River into Yugoslavia at that time, or trying to cross into Hungary, which was a little bit better at the end. If you will go to Hungary, you can go to Austria. That was the route. Hungary and then through Sopron. Was it Sopron? Yeah, I think it was. I know people who got caught in Sopron and beaten the shit out of them. And they were Hungarian. They were Romanian Hungarians who tried to get to Austria and they got caught in Sopron and got fucked by their own Magyars. Igen. Anyway, so here we have that one. So I know other people who traveled with in containers from Le Havre, France, from the port. They locked themselves in container over the ships. 2 weeks in container, pooping, eating poop, and sitting in container until they got to New Jersey. I know one case now. He's a citizen, US citizen. yeah, I know these kind of things. They risk their lives. Why? Because they wanted to do it. They want a better life. Crazy? They risk their fucking lives. And you say, well, cry me a river. Not even sperm here. Anyway, my friends, here it is. This is a hit job done by CNN at the order of the bosses. I don't buy it. Yeah, my question is, so what? So what? What's your problem? Thank you very much for the information. Okay, now because you are a news or how do you call it, outlet, I would like you to give me, I don't know, as I said, give me how many French are in the Ukrainian army and why not? And give me their names as well. Put the same effort. That's why they're propaganda. That's why there's not a news agency, CNN. Here it is, my friends. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.